Hi YouTube, today we're going to be creating another augmented reality app that's way more sophisticated than the one we last created. So without wasting any time, let's hop into the video and actually start coding this. So first things first, augmented reality app. I'm going to name it Ruler AR. Save it on my desktop. Okay, now I'm going to go to my view controller. Remove the extra code that's not needed. Then I'm gonna delete this code as it uses the template aircraft that comes with the program, the template. So we're gonna need two things here. We're gonna need a node to store the points that the user plots on the screen, and we're gonna need a node to store the points, the result of the distance between the 2 points. Okay, so we're gonna create an array. So we're gonna call it a point array node. So it's of type scene node, and then we're also gonna create a text node of type scene node. So that's what we're going to use to show the user the 2 points and the text. Okay, so we need a method that allows the user to actually plot the 2 points. So that method is going to be touches began. So with the method, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to check the number of points. So we don't want them to exceed 2, and then after that we are gonna plot the points where the user touched. So to do that, we are quickly gonna check the number of points that already exist. So if points.count, I don't know what's happening today. If points.count exceed 2, then we want to loop through the array and actually remove the point if it exceeds 2, and after that restart our point node, restart our array. Okay, there we go. So now we know that when the user touches more than 2 times, the array is going to restart and allow the user to replot. So now all we have to do is find exactly where the user is plotting, and to do that we're simply going to say if let location tapped is equal to touches dot first touches dot first dot location in scene view, in the current view that we're actually looking at. And then what we're actually going to want to do is we're going to use something called a hit test. Actually, let me just write the code and then I'm going to explain the code after that. So basically, the method we've just written right now, basically it finds the location where the user tapped in 3D space, and then we're gonna add the point to where the user tapped, which is why we have this thing called hit test. So hit test is basically interpreted into 3D space for you automatically. All you have to do is capture the result from a method. So that method where we're gonna actually find the results, the plotting coordinates, is via hit test results that we're going to create a method called add points. So let's create a method called add points and actually start creating the hit test results. So I'm going to create a function called hit add point. Add point. So it's going to take an external parameter called at, and then internal parameter hit test results of type AR hit test results, and it doesn't return anything. So I'm quickly going to write the code to construct the points, and then from there I'll explain. I've actually written the method that actually plots our point onto 3D space. So this code here should be familiar with my last video. So basically what we're doing is we're plotting a point of size 0.07 meters. A point of 0.07 size, and it's gonna appear yellow, and we are actually plotting it to these coordinates. So hit test contains, I think, 0 to 4 blocks. We are taking the third value in the columns, in the blocks. So yeah, you might want to go have a read about that actually, because the explanation is pretty long, and yeah, I'm gonna cut it short here. So we're just taking the third values, and we are going to then present it to our screen. And then after that, we are gonna add the point to our array so that we are able to keep track with the other code. And then after that, we are quickly just gonna check whether the number of points are equal to 2. If they are equal to 2, then we are gonna calculate the distance. We haven't written the function yet. We're just gonna write the function just now. So let me just quickly write the function, and I'll find you guys just now. Okay, so I've now written the code to calculate the distance between the 2 points. So basically, I'm quickly going to explain the code. What I'm actually doing here is I'm finding the point, the distance, I'm finding the coordinates of the point x, and then I'm finding the coordinates of the point y. Those are the 2 points that are always available in the array. There can never be 3 points. If that happens, something's wrong. And then what I'm actually going to be, so since the distance formula is based off the Pythagoras theorem, what I'm actually going to, it requires three points since it's in 3D space. So I'm quickly finding my A point, my B point, my C point, and then I'm quickly plotting those points into the square roots of A squared plus B squared plus C squared, and then boom. Then I find my actual distance, and then here I'm quickly factoring it so that it doesn't become too long, which is why I'm using ABS, because it can be 1 comma blah 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 blah. So I'm quickly doing that, and then here I'm quickly setting up my text. So here I'm basically showing my text. I haven't written the method yet. I'm quickly gonna write the method right now. So let's. So I've quickly set up my function to create the text. So all we're doing is we are basically resetting our text every time the user clicks more than 2 times. When the user taps the screen more than 2 times, we reset the text, and then what we actually do again is we set the text size and what the text is supposed to look like, and the extrusion rate, the extrusion depth is basically how thick the text should be, and then the material, we want it to appear green, and then the text node, and then we do the position, we set up the position. So basically we added on our y value so that it's literally right next to the end point of the second one, and then we put the size of the text to be 0.4, 0.4, 0.04, 0.04, and then we added it to our child node. So to quickly recap on our code, all we did was we created an array to store the points. And then we created a text node to store the text that's going to appear on the screen. And then we came to touches began. On touches began, all we did was we checked the number of points that exist, and if they exceeded 2, then we had to restart our array and start plotting points again. And then all we did here was we're plotting our points by checking where the user actually tapped on the screen. So, which is why we use our hit test here. So so that was pretty straightforward. And then we came here to adding our points. So we created our points, made them appear yellow, and then we plotted them using our hit test that the user had when the user had tapped on the screen. And then we added the screen. And then from there, we added the points to our array to keep track of the number of points. Because if we don't add them to our array, then our array will be empty the whole time, and the user will add as many points as they want. And then we came here and calculated the distance. The manner in which we calculated the distance was we checked the first point and the second point, and then from there we calculated the distance using the distance formula, and then from there we manipulated the distance and actually refactored it so that it doesn't go up to infinity. And then we set up our text by getting the distance and putting it into our setup text method, and also adding the position of our last text. If you change from x to y, then it's gonna the final answer is gonna be next to your first point, but we want it to be at our last point. And then here we actually reset our text every time when the user taps more than 2 times, and then we set the size of our text, and then we want it to appear green, and then we set the position, which is right next to the last one, and then we set the size. You can increase the size if you want. Actually, let's just increase it to maybe 0.6, 0.06, 0.06, and then we add it to our screen. So let me quickly just connect my phone to my computer, and then we'll quickly just check how the app runs. So I'll find you guys just now.